Blue collar robots? I don't think I like the sound of that one. I think we're going to have to knock them out the way. Be back to you in a second. Real change happens when you're fed up. The mind shifts, the heart follows. The breakthrough is here. Let's go. Hello, I'm Ragnar Powell Jr., the host of the Blue Collar Morning Show, where we all about the mind shift, going from sweating to thinking to back sweating again. What I mean by that? We spend so much time doing. I mean, we're sweating. We're so much time doing. We're being frustrated, but we've not, doing the orders of operation. It's all about be, do, have. Be, do, have. What do I mean by that? It's always about being fruitful. Okay, if we spend some time trying to be fruitful, then go ahead to do, then we can have abundance. Before we can have abundance, we have to think. And thinking is being fruitful. Bottom line. This is in the Bible. Now, what your religion is totally up to you. What you believe in is totally, up to you. I'm not telling you what to believe in or anything like that. I'm just saying, from my God and from when I read the Bible, it always says be fruitful and multiply. In order to be fruitful, we have to think. And then once we think, we have to do. Then once we do, we can have. Okay? So that's what this is all about. If we skip in the be and we're just constantly doing, we can never have. That's why we're frustrated. That's why we're complaining. That's why we're lashing out at the bosses. That's why we're firing everybody in sight. All right, because we're not taking time out to sit back and just think. Okay, just because, we're in the blue collar sector doesn't mean we don't have to think. Okay, doesn't mean that we just do bare minimum. Okay, if you're doing a little bit of thinking and you're doing bare minimum, you're going to have bare minimum. If you're doing a whole lot of thinking, you're doing extra work, you're going to have a whole lot of abundance. That's just the way the world works. Okay? And make no mistake about it, before we get into this video, AI thinks. And in certain instances, it's thinking for us, which means they're trying to take our minds away from us. That's just what it is. They're trying to wipe us out totally. They're trying to make us extinct like dinosaurs. Erase us off the map. Okay? So that's what this episode is about totally. Okay? Humans versus robots. Can robots perform in the blue collar sector better than humans, equally to humans, or worse than humans? Me personally, I don't think nothing can replace the human form. Okay? They're going to try it out with these robots. I mean, with AI and the robot, they're going to try them back because, like I say before, robots don't talk back. They're going to tell them to do something, and they're just going to do it. The robots give them ideas. The robots will give them information. The robots will give them so much freedom that they're going to try to do away with humans altogether. For instance, in the white sector, the white collar sector, they're pretty much trying to do away with secretaries because they have AI secretaries now. I call certain businesses and stuff like that to get things in order and this and that or whatever. Couldn't find out I'm talking to AI. I'm not talking to a human. I'm talking to AI. Okay. So in the blue collar sector, they making use that for, desk purposes, white collar. Okay. But like I always say, getting behind that jackhammer on that lawnmower, I don't see it. And then some of these AI tools they have now, like the AI lawnmowers that operate by themselves, and this and that and the third. I don't see it lasting too much longer. I don't know how much it'll hold up. Okay. Um, but we have to do better as a whole to not give them more ammunition to try to replace us. I'm not saying be silent. I'm not saying don't talk. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's a way of going about doing things. There's a process and there's an order we can follow in order to do things. But first, most importantly, we have to be, which means we have to think. Then we can do, which means sweating. Then we can have, which means abundance. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this first episode. I hope I didn't drag that out too long, but I thought that was very imperative because we have to start thinking so we can stop complaining and being frustrated and improve ourselves as humans. Okay. So with the clip that we're going to look at today, it came from the AI Summit. Okay. And they, revealed a lot of new things. Some of it was kind of creepy. And I was like, well, I don't think I want that around me. But all in all, they're trying it. I don't think it can replace human form, but they will try it. Okay? Product don't talk back. Humans do. Okay? So, with that being said, not trying to say and be silent, it's a way to go about doing things. Okay? So, let's go ahead and get into the clip. This came from the AI Summit of the new AI robots they had out, and they had all types of technology and stuff like that. But like glasses and stuff like that, but I don't think we really too much into that. But I'm gonna really focus on and skim through like the robots they have, and they'll give you a basis of what's going on, then we'll elaborate on it. All right. Be do have. Let's go. Oh, can't forget the mantra. Let's go ahead and get into the mantra, then we'll go ahead and get into it. All right. This is imperative. A5 mantra is important. Okay. It's all a part of be do have. All right. It's all a part of that. Let's go ahead. I am the author of my own story. I'm the only one that can tell it. My life unfolds by my design. I am the authority over my decisions. I choose what enters and exits my life. I am authorized to operate my gift, develop my skill set, and walk in confidence in my purpose. No one can take that from me. Most importantly, I am my own accountability partner. I acknowledge my imperfections. That is important. Let's say that again. I acknowledge my imperfections. I am consistently learning, improving, and practicing transparency. I self-assess. I self-assess so I can present the world with the best version of me. Through this ownership, I create the life I deserve by aligning with these core values, principles, and beliefs, the light of authenticity. Everyone's searching for it. Let's say that again. The light of authenticity will shine in me and through me. I am finally operating in truth. I am A5, And I boldly accept the premium mindset and lifestyle that comes with it. Man, doesn't that make you feel good? A5. All right. Doesn't that make you feel good? All right. It's nothing like those core principles. Okay. Those core principles just does something to my soul. I'm not even going to front about it. Okay. Just knowing that, I'm the author of my own story. I'm not letting nobody write it. I'm writing it myself. That feels good in itself. Knowing that I have the authority to make the final decision of whatever comes to me. Knowing that I am authorized, which means no one can take it from me. That's one thing that we pride ourselves in, is having something for us. And if I am authorized in it, that means no one can take that from me. And I'm my own accountability partner, which means I'm responsible for what I say and what I do. I can't control what others are doing, but I can control what I do. Period. That is the most important one. And last but not least, after we follow those four, authenticity. Being our authentic self is most important. Period. That feels good. It feels amazing. Let's take a moment of silence and let that sink in for a second. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Robots versus humans. I still think we're going to have to knock them out the way. All right, let's get into it.
If you watched one CES video this year, this should be it. This is CES 2026. So we're checking out Realbotix. We were here last year, but we understand there's some updates, and we're here to find out what they are.
So I feel like you guys broke YouTube last year as probably the most prominent company to come out of CES. What's new at Realbotix this year?
Number one, we have David over here, our new, as he's called him, our new smug robot.
He's got a little bit of an expression on his face. It's like a little bit of like superiority.
The fact that he evokes some emotion in you, I think is a good thing.
Yes. You were talking about AI vision.
Now tell me that don't look creepy. Tell me that don't look creepy. Come on, man. They put that up in the workplace, man. You're going to frighten some kids, man. Maybe even frighten some humans. All right. Come on, man. That is creepy, man. And the way that thing moving, I don't think that's going to go well in the blue collar sector. Okay. They may try to, have it on a job site, mainly in warehouses. I think they will be mainly in warehouse setting, not outdoors. Now they made them for, as you will hear in the clip, they made them temperature ready. Okay, they can withstand heat and this, that, and the third, but I don't think they can do that physical labor. All right, I think they can do the minimum, and I think they can be warehouse bound and assembly lines. Just my opinion. But they're going to try it. They're going to try it. Trust me. If you out there, laying down some pipe and you see, David over here pulling up beside you, don't get startled now. Don't get started. Just know you heard it from here first.
Yeah, tell me about how that's baked in this year.
Our robots are a little more autonomous, so the AI takes the information it sees, what it's observing, and makes decisions based on that.
So it's basically trained on a number of human behaviors to be able to sort of interpret and see.
It can recognize human emotions. I'm not sure there's any other company in the world that has tied in hard.
They're going to put these robots in the blue collar, white collar, wherever the case may be, for it to detect your emotions. So it can feed off of what you're doing to enhance what they're doing. They're coming to take over. Period. But that thing was scary too. They're coming to take over. I mean, that's just what it is. And us as blue collar workers, we have to think of a solution where we can counteract what they're doing. Okay? We can use AI for our benefit. Don't tell me y'all not using ChatGPT. If you say you're not, you lie. All right, but always proofread what you get from there because it could be wrong. All right, we gotta keep something in our head and not give it all to ChatGPT.
Hardware to be able to recognize human emotions. Our robots have the motorized wheel platform, more efficiency, but number two, we're the only guys that have the only robots that plug into the wall. So if you are an enterprise client, you don't necessarily care about the walking. What you care about is a robot that will work for you all day, all week. You can see here, she follows me. You can see she's much more.
You hear what he just said? I don't mean to keep cutting, but I want to get into some key points. He said, we're getting to a robot where they can work all day, all week. They're talking about 24-hour access, period. Not a 9 to 5, not an 8-hour shift, not a 40-hour week, none of that. They talking about 24 hours, all week, every month, every year. How can we counteract that? All right. At the first sight of us tired and frustrated, we got to take a day. We got to take a day. You know, it is what it is. You know, as the business owner, sometimes I have to take a mental day. You know, sometimes, you know, they'll call in and say, hey, I can't go. Or sometimes they just don't say they take it off. They just don't show, which is a whole nother thing in itself. And that's why they're bringing out AI. 24-hour access. Now, what can we do to calculate and stay on top of that? Do we hire more people for different shifts to, you know, counteract what's going on? But if we do that, is it going to be more headache? Is it going to be more strenuous? Is it going to be more tension and resistance? With AI, they're going to work around the clock and they're going to give you results. And that's all they're going to do is just give you results. That's it. But they're not coming out there with that jackhammer, I'll tell you that. 24-hour access. What we got to do? What we got to do to think about that?
Fluid than the one we had last year. This will be across all of our robots here next year. They'll be able to talk and recognize you. They'll be able to read. They'll be able to see colors and again recognize emotion. We did this. You know, sometimes you go to a fashion show, they have like the craziest outfits and it's really just to get attention. We wanted to show a little bit of creativity and something sci-fi related. To demonstrate that we make robots that look like this, but we can make them look like anything. One of the things that makes us unique is you can customize the appearance, voice, and personality of your robot through us. Again, nobody else is doing that kind of stuff.
So this company, Even Realities, is making a lot of noise right now. They make lightweight AR glasses. Let's check.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do the glasses. I think we just go ahead. If that's the case, we'll just holler at Meta for that. We'll just holler at Meta for the glasses.
And the second one is this apps marketplace. So we have 2,000 different apps and you can do whatever you want with them. You can like send Slack events or you can like create GitHub issues if you're a developer and many, many more.
So the transcripts that are collected by the Omni are then seamlessly sent to these apps.
Yes, but only with your authorization. So you can
You see that thing? That wasn't right.
by the Omni are then seamlessly sent to these
Yes,
apps.
yes, yes, but only with your authorization. So you can install app means you authorize to share your data with them.
We got ChatGPT on the net. Look at that.
Stands at about 6 feet 2 inches tall and can reach as high as 7.5 feet.
Now, that's what I mean by
We're in
warehouse
Boston
assembly.
Dynamics booth at CES 2026. Checking out a product that is absolutely blowing up right now.
That's what I mean by warehouse assembly. They're creating the. I truly believe, in all honesty, I think AI robots are just going to be for warehouses, for the warehouse assembly. Because in certain factories now, they really don't have no employees in it. They just have people overseeing. They don't have people working pretty much in these factories now. These updated big corporations, they have, machinery doing everything. So far as wise, the unloading, loading, and stuff like that, I believe they're going to have the AI stuff for that. I don't think they're going to have them for the outdoors to get messed up and all of that stuff, because that's a lot of money to get messed up and dirty and be hosing off and things of that nature. But indoors, they're AI robots are perfect for that. What you think about it in the chat below?
My name is Mario Bellini, and I lead the Atlas product management team at Boston Dynamics. So Atlas is our flagship humanoid robot, and we have been working in the lab the last couple of years to productize Atlas using all of the latest AI techniques and deliver the robot that you see here today. For the last couple of years, AI techniques have improved enough that we can start to do manipulation, have the robot touch the world, move objects around, understand the world the same way that people do.
Can you talk to me about some of the limitations? Because I found them particularly impressive in terms of how much this thing can lift, what conditions it can work in, because we're already at some really impressive stats.
Yeah, so Atlas can lift up to 110 pounds instantaneously and closer to 70 kind of continuously. So we designed this to handle the dull, dirty, dangerous tasks, the things that are really backbreaking for people to do, and it can operate.
You see there? Let me rewind that. You probably missed that. Let me rewind that.
Can you talk to me about some of the limitations? Because I found them particularly impressive in terms of how much this thing can lift, what conditions it can work in, because we're already at some really impressive stats.
Yeah, so Atlas can lift up to 110 pounds instantaneously and closer to 70 kind of continuously. So we designed this to handle the dull, dirty, dangerous tasks, the things that are really backbreaking for people to do. It can operate for 4 hours on its battery life, swap its own battery so it can work continuously.
What did I say? They're going to try it. The dull, back-breaking work humans can't do. Exactly what he said. They're going to try it. They're going to try it because they feel as though it'll be less of a headache if they get these robots versus human. They're trying to push humans out the way totally. I don't see that it lasting like that. I don't see it lasting. But trust and believe, they're going to try it.
Atlas can operate in the rain. It's IP67. It can also handle -20C to 40C. Atlas has these joints that can spin all the way around. And so we're inspired by the human form, but not limited by it.
How do you see these units coexist?
Inspired by the human form, but not limited by it.
With human beings in the future.
So we're not trying to make a robot person. We're trying to make this tool that's relatable, that's understandable, and the choice of the head kind of like whimsical and inviting. It's actually a modular head with sensors and computer on board. So we've learned from the autonomous vehicle industry about how you could really reliably detect people and hazards around the robot, and the robot has that built in.
So this
Pretty much, I truly and honestly believe that these robots will be beneficial for us in the blue collar sector. Pretty much. If you're not, because realistically, they're going to try it. They're going to try it. They're going to see how effective it is. They're going to see how productive it is. And once they see that it can't replace what humans do, then the value of the blue collar sector goes up. That's period, point blank. The value of the blue collar sector goes up, which means pay wages go up, which means more opportunities come up. But we can't let it succeed. We as a people have to step it up a notch and follow the orders of operation we do have. We have to be fruitful, which means think. We have to do, which means sweat. We must have, which means abundance. All right? We can't skip the process. We just can't. Okay? We can't just keep doing and doing and doing, which leads us to being frustrated and wondering why they're not doing what they're supposed to do to enhance what we need or what we want in our life. That's not what it works. Let's just be honest. Your employer is not paying you to pay your bills. They're just filling a gap. Period. A job is nothing more than what it is. I said this previously. A job is nothing more than what it is. It's all on what you make of it and what you put into it. If you're putting bare minimum into it, you're going to get bare minimum results. If you're just going to the job just to get your 8 hours and then go home, that's what you're going to get out of it. But no employer is going to sink time, invest extra money and training into somebody that's just doing bare minimum and being frustrated. That's why they got the robots out here. That's point blank period. That's why they're trying to bring the robots out. Like the man said, 24-hour work. They trying to get them things, if no more than just answering phone calls. You know, doing some paperwork. AI is doing paperwork now. Yes, it is. AI is doing paperwork. You know, white collar sector has a problem. They have a serious problem. With the blue collar sector, you're pretty much safe because I don't think it can withstand the pounding and the grit that comes with it. But we have to stay ahead of it. We have to think. We have to do so we can have. All right, let me scan through here and let's get to the next section of it. Let's see what they got here. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what they got here.
21.5 inches all the way up to almost 24 inches wide for a better gaming experience.
Just a heads up, durability-wise, the company says the rollable is good for up to 25,000 roll cycles. Again, just a proof of concept at this point.
So behind me is a company that's gone totally viral because of its robots' crazy fighting moves. Let's check out Engine AI.
This year we bought the two model. One is a PM, and this guy is 1.38 meter tall, with 24 degrees of freedom, and the total weight is 40 kilo. So this guy can do very flexible movement. This show is Money Keep Rolling.
Oh, okay, all right.
In China, people using the robots for shopping mall guided tour for reception, answer the question. Because we manage in 5,000 different stores. When you have employees, it's hard to train them when you have a new product. And also, robots is very attractive for the customer. Each of the store they have a robots, more customers they want to come.
I also saw it doing some other moves. Can we see some of the combinations and other stuff too? Yeah. He needs to put a little weight on that back foot. He's getting a little tippy.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's getting a little bit tippy. Yeah. I like the little Iron Man circle in the middle.
That is a touch screen.
Oh, it's a touch screen.
This is I don't know if y'all seen that movie with Gene Hackman, Real Steel. I think I'm saying the name of that movie right. I think it's called Real Steel. I think this is the improvement of that. They're going to have robot boxing matches now. All right. So if you see that on DraftKings, then hey, you heard it here first. But with these robots, with the flexibility they have and for what they're doing, I think these robots are going to be for security purposes. I think they're going to be in the security section. I think these the robots that's going to be in your stores. I think these the robots that's going to be in the malls. I think these the robots that's going to be, in the banks and stuff like that. I think they're going to be the ones that's going to be securing what's going on. Okay. They may be in the back of your bank, but the one thing that frightens me about that is I don't think I want a robot with no gun. Period. I don't think I want no robot with no gun. All right. We have a tough time now with ICE, you know what I mean? But we don't need a robot with a gun. All right. So we got to figure that out. But I think they're going to try this for the security section. But if you think I'm wrong, or if you have, another, idea of what you think it's going to be, leave a comment below. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. But they're flexible enough to chase after your butt. You want to do something crazy on that job, this robot gonna come and chase you down. That's when you got to knock them out. But how much power is this thing packing? Is it on Drago status?
That's pretty good. All right. We have seen a lot of footage of new humanoid robots fighting, and we wanted to see for ourselves one of the most high-profile companies in business right now, Unitree and their G1 humanoid robot. So I'm going to try to get in there and see what it's like to fight these things myself. So Unitree has been gone absolutely viral. Your stuff is everywhere. What's new this year? What are you demoing?
So this year at CES, we're not only bringing the kickboxing robots, but also some dance moves and kung fu moves. So this year, they're learning a lot of moves from people who like to kickboxing moves. They're actually learning from professional fighters. You want to give it a shot?
Let's do it. Let's embarrass myself in front of 100 people here. Let's do it. That's hard. It's hard. They're actually like tough. 1, 2, 3. He's out. Totally out.
I don't think we got to worry about these robots too much. I think these robots right here going to be sitting right behind the desk. Where's the stapler?
I was not expecting it. I was expecting it to be this silly little plasticky like child's fight, and it was kind of scary. What happens if somebody builds an army of these things? Tensor, the world's
right. I don't want no robot with no gun. Pretty much, that's just not what I want.
first personal robo-car. Basically, it's the first robo-taxi that the consumer themselves own. Personal robo-car, what does that mean?
Level 4, fully autonomous, hands-off, eyes-off, car that you can personally own. It sits in your garage. And because of
the reason why I want to show this car, and it may be, out of the realm, is because if they can figure out a way for it to work with a car, they'll figure out a way how to work with a pickup truck. They'll figure out a way how to work with a dump truck. They'll figure out a way how to work with an 18-wheeler. Trust and believe. They're testing it out now with these self-driving cars and with nobody in it and stuff like that. That really frightens me for real. But I hadn't heard any real bad things about it. But once they get a hand on it and they see that it's proven, a lot of these companies like Ford, Chevy, Ram, and everyone else in Toyota, if they hadn't already, they're going to get self-driving pickup trucks. Hey, take this truck to the job site. Here's the address. Drop them off. Oh, you don't have your license? Oh, you don't have your DOT certification? Oh, okay. I need you to go to 55555 Boulevard Road. Drop it off. Take the guys there. That's a foreman that they don't need. I'm just saying. That's why I'm showing this.
It's a personal vehicle. There's a lot more engineering that we had to put into the car so it can be self-cleaning, self-maintaining. All those sensors have to stay cleaned and functioning.
So here I'm in level 3.
You're in level 3 or below.
Okay.
And if you wanted to go to level 4,
and the yoke disappears.
it does.
And I enter the future. It's trippy. It's all very smooth and quiet. Oh, that's the camera. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
So you can hide it if you want privacy.
And is it specifically for like video conferencing? That's
It
the
can
functionality?
be, yes, absolutely. The car has 5G. So
Wow. Okay. 5G, video conferencing.
we have 11 radar. We have 37 cameras. So cameras everywhere. We have 8 NVIDIA Thor chips in the car for 8,000 TOPS of processing power. Imagine waking up in the morning and going, oh, my car just texted me. We have to leave 30 minutes early because the traffic conditions are so bad. I better get moving.
Your vehicle is your assistant now. This is what the lady just said. Imagine your vehicle texting you and telling you, all right, it's time to get a move on it. You have an 8 o'clock. Oh, we need to be downtown. We ain't got time for that. This is our schedule for the day. Let's go. This is really getting serious now. Now, if they can get pickup trucks and dump trucks and stuff like that on the same accord, yeah, I think it'll be a lot more laborers than foremans. I'm just saying.
So it sounds like this integrates pretty seamlessly with like your calendar, your to-do list.
Yes.
Okay. The other thing I want to mention that's really cool is that they actually have screens where the lights are that can project messages to pedestrians on the street. So for example, if you're at a light and you want people to know that it's okay to walk behind you, it'll show like the safe to walk pedestrian sign on the actual screens for the lights in the back.
Pebble is back on the scene with 2 products that are absolutely blowing up right now online. The Index 01, which is the cheapest smart ring on the market, and the Round 2, which is an e-ink display.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do the rings and the watches. I'm pretty much sure that you can go online and figure that one out. But let's see what this one is.
Temperature is set properly and my doors are locked, and Cloyd would take care of that for me automatically. So we have our AI, which we call affectionate intelligence. So all of our appliances will be talking to Cloyd, and with ThinkQ on, it's going to be talking to third-party sensors, so we have that whole home protection, as you were talking about, the whole home scanning.
So what makes the Limex Tron series really interesting is that it's multimodal. If you look at the legs, you see that it has interchangeable wheels or feet. It's got tracks on top for a sensor kit or an arm. Essentially, it's a blank slate for the customer.
And this is Tron 1, the world's first multimodal bipedal robot.
In
And
other
here we can
words,
say
this is going to be the Aaron
the
Bell.
perfect balance capability no matter how you
Or the
push
Aaron
robots,
Woman.
they keep balance. And it's multimodal, so you can just quickly change the foot ends from the solid foot to the wheel mode. So it means that one single robot with 3 different foot ends. And this robot can be used for like security check and petring, and also as a really perfect research platform.
I see a company representative over there who's actually controlling this demo right now. Is that how this robot is going to work in the future, or will this thing operate autonomously? How is this thing actually controlled?
For now, we use the remote controller to control it move, and in the near future, it can be possible. It can be autonomous move. It's open API, so you can just customize your own solutions. You can install robot arm. This is one solution, and another two is voice kit. A voice kit, install voice kit, you can just interact with this robot and can integrate with large language models like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, so to make robots think smarter, can give you a quick response. And also we have a sensor kit. Sensor kit means that there are some accessories like a LiDAR camera and can do autonomy navigation.
This is Project Motoko. There's only 2 of these in the world.
Yeah, I think that's just going to be your coffee getter. I think I think that's what that's going to be, your coffee getter. Oh yeah, this is the robot that folds clothes.
It's a listening device with the camera. I don't think anybody else is doing that.
They haven't. So Razor's at the forefront. We're really excited, and we just feel like the universal compatibility, the universal form factor, it's going to be a game changer.
Where other robotics companies are focused on things like strength and agility, Sharpa is focused on dexterity and precision of movement.
At CES, we revealed our full-body robot for the first time. It's called North, and it's been dealing card, assembling a windmill, taking Polaroid photos, and playing ping pong, obviously. We're watching our full-body robot, North, assembling a windmill. For a robot to accomplish autonomously, it's very, very hard. It's using different types of material. We have paper, we have plastic. Those materials, they have different rigidity. So, you instinctively adjust your grasp depending on whether the material is deformable or rigid. It has to do the same, and that's where the sense of touch and the tactile sensors that we have in the fingertip really matters. Some objects that it has to manipulate are small, other are long and thin, and it needs to adapt how he positions his finger to be able to properly interact with those objects. So that's a third level of difficulty. So this booth actually is the one that attracts the most robot experts, because we know how difficult it is to accomplish this task.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. So I really think that we have a task on our hands. I don't think that we're in jeopardy, but I do think we have to think, because that's what they're getting AI for. They're tired of hiring people just doing, okay? That's just the bottom line. All right. They want us to be able to think. They want us to go the extra mile. And if you're doing this already and your company is not seeing the value in you, then your problem is not the company. It's not. It's you per se, because you're allowing it. You're not seeing the value that's within you. I would keep working and explore to see who would value what you bring to the table, and then proceed from there. There's no need in staying somewhere where you're just not proceeding or climbing up the ladder. It's just no need to stay there. I hear a lot of people saying, my job ain't this, and I've been making this amount of money for X amount of years, and now they're bringing new people in, and they're making the same amount of money as I am. Okay, what does that say? Are you a foreman or just a laborer? Are you someone that they can bounce ideas off of? Are you someone that brings them more? Are you thinking things through to make it easier, so when you do, it won't be as hard, and then everybody can benefit. But if you're just coming and going as you please, and I think a lot of things with the blue collar sector, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, want to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Period. I want to work this day. I don't feel like working this day because I don't want to think about what's going on and this and that or whatever. That's not benefiting the employer. That's not benefiting the company. I mean, that's the way they're looking at it. As an employer, I wouldn't invest a lot in somebody who's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I wouldn't invest a lot in somebody who comes to work 1 week and then off 3 days the next week. I wouldn't, invest a lot in someone that always, when I tell them, this is what we got to do, they're always complaining and pouting about what needs to be done. It's already 105 out here. We don't need the extra heat. We want to keep it as mild and cool as possible. And that's why AI is coming. That's why AI is coming. That's why they're trying to replace the human form. Because they're going to ask AI, hey, this is what needs to be done. AI is going to do it. The robot is going to do it and not say nothing else about it. But don't you put a gun in their hand. That's when I got to flee. All right. But, yeah, so I don't think we have anything pretty much to worry about in the blue collar sector. Now, warehouse jobs, yes. Yes. I think robots are mainly for warehouse jobs and secretarial jobs. Pretty much. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our next sector on Cesar Chavez on the Blue Collar Pioneers. I'll be right back. Cesar Chavez was born in 1927 in Yuma, Arizona, to a working-class Mexican-American family. When the Great Depression hit, his family lost their farm and became migrant farm workers, traveling across California, doing back-breaking labor in the fields. From a young age, Chavez experienced firsthand the long hours, low pay, and harsh conditions that farm workers endured every day. Chavez left school after the 8th grade to work full-time alongside his family. He didn't grow up with wealth, power, or political connections, but he grew up with something stronger, a deeper understanding of injustice and the value of hard work. Those early years in the fields shaped his belief that dignity should never be optional, no matter the job. In the 1950s, Chavez served in the U.S. Navy, then became a community organizer. In 1962, he co-founded the National Farm Workers Association, which later became the United Farm Workers Union. Instead of violence, Chavez believed in nonviolent resistance, organizing strikes, marches, and boycotts to demand fair wages, safer working conditions, and basic human rights for farm laborers. One of his most powerful tools was the Great Boycott, which brought national attention to farm workers' struggles and forced major agricultural companies to negotiate. Through fasting, organizing, and relentless perseverance, Chavez helped secure contracts that improved pay, health, protections, and dignity for thousands of workers. Cesar Chavez passed away in 1993, but his legacy lives on. He proved that real change doesn't start in boardrooms, it starts in the fields, with workers who refuse to stay silent. His life is a reminder that blue-collar voices, when united, can change history. So, the one thing I want to say as I close out, for today is I know blue-collar work is strenuous. I know blue-collar work is hard. But we always have to think to better the situation. That's what Cesar Chavez did. He pulled the long hours. He did the back-breaking work. He did sweat. My man dropped out in the 8th grade. Didn't complain that one time and did something to improve the situation. With an 8th grade degree, with an 8th grade education. Let me form this union to help my people in the blue collar sector. With an 8th grade education. Didn't complain about it. Organized nonviolent, non-confrontational protesters, marches, and stuff like that. All to give his people fair wages. That's what we need to be on. I'm not saying that if somebody does something to you, not to do something back and this and that. I'm not saying not stand up for yourself. But we're smarter than that. We're smarter than that lawnmower that you're using. We're smarter than the paintbrush that you're painting with the balls. We're smarter than the jackhammer that you use. We're smarter than the concrete that you're laying. Smarter than that. If we're constantly doing, we will never have. And that's what he did. He seen that something wasn't right. And it wasn't fair. Let me think about what I do. Let me be fruitful. Let me get my people involved. So we can create something that'll benefit us all. And by benefiting us all, there'll be less frustration. There'll be less complaining. There'll be less, quitting other jobs. There'll be less fighting. Everybody will be getting their just due. So if you don't know anything about, the robots, if you don't know anything about Cesar Chavez, just remember this. We have to think. That's the only reason why the robots are here. They want us to think. Anybody can do. But first of all, we have to think. So that's the story of the Blue Collar Morning Show. Be, do, have. Be fruitful and think. Do the work and sweat. We can have abundance. I'll see you all next week. We are more than just a tool that we're using. Let's think. See you all next week. Love you.